Let me see, which one? So basically, airborne, marines, and armor. I assume I can do all three of them. Let's do the sea approach.
Gentlemen, we've just received the green light for the landing operation on Baltise Peninsula. The Russian Baltic Fleet is currently resupplying in the harbor of Kaliningrad and will soon be ready to take to sea. Taking control of this peninsula would trap them in the lagoon, rendering them basically non-operational in the region.
I wouldn't go that
Our
far.
troops are ready to storm the beach, but according to our latest satellite data, a mobile coastal artillery battery is defending the harbor. These guns must be silenced before we can launch the main assault, or this'll turn into Omaha Beach 2.0. The guns have been spotted here. This is a battery of Barrick 130mm howitzers. They can detect and engage fast-moving targets above the water. That includes ships and helicopters. Local intel reports that a battery of surface-to-air missiles is present on the south bank of the lagoon. But the precise position of each launcher is unknown, as they are relocated every day. That makes a missile or airstrike way too hazardous. Our best option is to send in a light force to eliminate the anti-air batteries by surprise and open the way for the main landing. They don't expect that kind of attack, so the ground forces in the area are limited. Commander, you will be in charge of this raid while I organize the main landing. Prepare your troops, but remember, it's a one-time opportunity, so it's make or break. Make it happen, Commander. Good luck.
Okay, so this is basically
Commander,
the...
I've gathered as much information as possible about the operating forces in the region. You can consult them in the mission intel section if you wish.
May I have a word, Commander? In private, please. It's about the General. I know you hold him in high esteem, but you haven't known him as long as I have. The truth is, he is a dangerous man. He's getting old, and this conflict might be his last chance to fulfill his dream of seeing his name in the history books. That makes him dangerous. For you and your men. For himself, for everyone. Books are full of great battles and proud generals, but never talk about the men who work towards avoiding such glorious slaughters. So when the day comes, and it will come, believe me, to choose between reason and glory, I'm counting on you, Commander, to make the right choice.
Okay. Neutralize the anti-aircraft battery, neutralize the coastal artillery, and then hold until relieved. So this is basically the demo mission from the 2020 or the February 2024 beta.
The ships cannot approach as long as the coastal battery located in this fort is operational. The anti-air missiles are located on the other side of the canal. A Russian missile battery generally consists of 6 launchers. 2 of them have been located on the beach, but the others must be hiding in the nearby city.
Sir, the reconnaissance group has made contact with the enemy and reports the presence of a tank platoon defending the area. I hope you brought some dedicated anti-tank units with you.
Oh, what did I bring? What do we got? BRDM-2s, T-72B1s, random infantry. Why are the LCACs? Never mind, I probably don't even want to know. Okay, so schwack the tanks, take control of the fort, schwack the SAM batteries. Got it. What do I have? I have Force Recon Marines, some LAV... Okay. LAVLs... Huh. Okay, so the layout is slightly different from the the 20 the demo mission back in 2020, back in February last year, these buildings were roughly the same, but there was a large open space here, and there was a couple of large buildings over here, if memory serves. Okay. And if memory serves, they, the way this basically went down is you took this side of the peninsula, you pushed forward, you took the fort, you then had to defend the area while the Russians paradropped some reinforcements in, and then the landing ships finally got within range. You had forces dropped on the beach. You needed to regroup with the fort, and then you needed to capture 3 points over here in the city to you needed to capture 3 points over there in the city too. Succeed. What do we got? LAV mortars, LAVLs, and it's worth noting that they originally started you with like 3 of these, but they were all lined up in the back here. You had, I think, 1 mortar, and then the 2 force recons and their LAV 25s, A2s, luckily. AVPs. Hang on a second. Okay, so they gave us cat javelins. Good. That is very good, because we only had the dragoons back in the February beta, and that made taking care of the tanks rather interesting. Also, Stinger teams, which appears they've pulled straight from the airborne, so. And we've got Force Recon. And I'm guessing these guys are meant to clear buildings. So. What next? What do we have? We've got what I'm guessing is basically just like reservists. BRDM-2Ms with what looks like the sensor package. D-72B1. That's not going to be much of a problem. I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 javelins are going to be able to take care of that just fine. If memory serves, the tank actually basically drove a circuit along this road. Let's see if that is still happening. But I'm going to want to be patient with this because I'm going to want to be patient with this. Mainly because I'm going to want to try and grab 2 of these. I'm going to want to try and grab 2 of these. Specifically because I want that javelin. That javelin is going to make taking care of the tanks. Oh, yep, there it goes. Started its route. But that javelin's going to make taking care of the tanks much, much easier. Oh, I know, there it goes. I was wondering if it was going to turn around. BRDMs. Oh, excuse me. Actually, you know what? New plan. How many of these can I get? 3 of them.
Relocating to the next emplacement. Proceeding to the next base of fire.
Because I remember something that I did.
U.S. Marine! Hoorah! Something, let's get out of here! Look alive! Get in that vehicle!
I remember something that I did. Well, if they didn't know that we were here before, they do now. Although the tank doesn't necessarily seem eager to come and get us. Which is probably very good, because I don't have much in the way that could stop it. If memory serves, and again, this is from, like, February of last year, one of the SAM batteries, or the SAMs was here, one of them was here, and then 2 of them were basically, like, right here, and then you had the last 2 over there. You also had an ATGM vehicle over here, so that made advancing down this road not fun. So, grab the mortars.
Ready to fire.
What kind of range do I've got on these? Not super great. So basically what I want to do is I at least want to... I want to make this road my line of contact. So...
Moving to rally point. Lab, reporting in. Lab, at your command, sir.
Alright, it's paused. What direction is that tank facing?
Lab, standing by. Copy. Relocating.
Preferably quickly.
New ROE. Fire only when fired upon.
And don't shoot. Yet. Don't shoot yet. There will be a lot of shooting, just not yet.
Personal carrier ready. Personal carrier here. Moving there now. Armored transport ready. Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
I'm gonna end up having to play basically a game of chicken with that tank, aren't I?
Armored transport standing by.
Don't shoot the tank. You are barely within range, but you will do literally nothing.
Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
Yeah, that's...
Smoke deployed. Mortar ready. Send mission. Solid copy. Fire mission received. Vehicle hit. Holy shit, that was close.
That wasn't close. That was a 125 Sabo passing through your front of...
Marines Force Recon here. Send traffic.
Guys, what is the stats of this thing? Well, we're taking that tank early.
Transport here. We're engaged. Personal carrier engaged in combat. Backpedal. Force recon ready. Time for direct action.
The troops have engaged the enemy. It will take them a little time to figure out what's going on, but we've got to hurry now.
Thank you, Williams, or whatever your name was.
We need maintenance. Lab, engaged in combat. Someone asked for a ride? Let's back out. Mortar ready. Send coordinates. Back out, driver. Force recon engaged in combat.
Yeah, and they're out of AT4s. And it's not dead.
Switch position.
It's crippled. I mean, it honestly looks like it's got everything wrong with it, but it's not dead. And that is the problem.
Special forces report casualties.
Yeah.
Lab under fire. Requesting orders. Troop transport reporting in. Roger. Moving out. What are your orders?
Don't be there.
Keep pushing.
Wow, that BRDM2.
Lab here. We're under fire. Target acquired. Engaging. Troop transport ready. Marines standing by.
Are they just out of range?
Move your asses, maggots!
Enemy tank destroyed.
Cool. We've got like 5 other problems. I really want to try this again. I really want to, but... Alright, fine. Move there.
Armored transport reporting in.
Move there.
Marines taking fire.
Move there.
Moving there now.
Okay, well that's certainly not how I wanted things to happen. But that's how they happened. So...
I got my ears on. Go ahead. All bullet catchers, disembark.
And then tell the LAVL to
Mission is over.
R2B.
Return to base. Once a Marine, always a Marine. U.S. Marines, ready for duty.
Climb back in there.
Someone call for a cab?
Wait.
Lab here. Go ahead.
Turn around. What was that?
Forcon, standing by.
There was something over here. And I think I know what it was.
Marines Force Recon at your command. Force Recon standing by.
Bingo. That's what we're looking for. And if they can see it,
The skylight for his house.
they have a view range of 1,750 meters. The artillery has a range of, or the mortars have a range of 1,800 meters, which means that if they can see it, the artillery can reach it.
Call for fire received.
That's actually about the same place it was in the February beta. Now I'm genuinely tempted to start pelting this area, just to see if that's where the artillery is.
Troop transport, standing by. Pedal to the metal. Lab here. Already there.
Because I remember what I did was I took out the how many of these guys? And then 8. Okay. That's cool. And then there's Stinger teams.
Lab, ready for action.
problem is that this whole field is all nice and open. If there's anybody in these buildings, and there most certainly are, then they're going to see anyone trying to cross.
Roger, Charlie Mike.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cross and head to this building, see if I can take a look in there. Because if that Sam's battery is parked there, then I suspect the other one's parked here. Alright, so, no, thank you.
Armored transport, standing by. Roger, we're on the move. Troop transport, ready. Everyone, dismount. Good copy. Next waypoint received.
I'm going to want these javelins because if memory serves, again, this is going off of the February, the demo mission in the February beta. When you take out a couple of these, there are after you take out a couple, there are some BTR 80s that show up, and basically, I believe there was one that ran down, or a couple that ran down this road, and then a couple that ran down this road. And they get a bit more aggressive. So you're probably going to want some kind of
Missile launcher eliminated.
cool. What are you shooting at?
Swift, silent, deadly.
That sounds like a type of... Okay, so they're apparently firing at infantry in those buildings. That's fine, largely.
Forcon, standing by. It's like a walk in the park.
Well, I mean, there is a park there. There was something that popped up very, very briefly.
En route to target location.
So I really do like the stealth system in this game. If I could only level one criticism, and the terrain is basically flat. If I can only level one criticism, oh, okay, well then it rises up on the hill. Is that like the vision tool is very useful, but it's very hard to tell where you need to be to not be spotted, if that makes sense. What is exploding over there?
Forcon ready. Get in, check your corners. Moving out.
Why is something exploding right there? They've got artillery. Oh no. Well, that's something they didn't do in the February beta. I like that. So now the A222s are shelling us. They're firing this way.
Force recon in combat. Switch of position. Shut up and let's go. Rock up, we're moving. Anti-tank team standing by. Mount up and let's go. Weapons team standing by. Mount up and move out. Lab, awaiting order. Pedal to the metal. Roger. Moving to next waypoint. AT specialists at your disposal. Here's our cab, ladies! I love big guns! Get your asses into that vehicle!
Technically, what you have is an artillery piece.
Falcon in combat! Falcon here! We're under fire!
I can tell. And apparently there's a tank over there. That was a bit of an unwelcome surprise.
Personal carrier ready! Armored transport ready! Lab here! We're combat ready! Falcon here!
Okay, so let's see what you got.
Troop transport reporting in! Roger. We're on
Okay, so there's another tank. What is it doing? Not mu- Oh! Ooh. Guys! Time to have some fun again. Okay, I'm guessing the tank is paying attention. You are going to stay in that forest, and you will not fire on that tank. Just don't do it.
That missile launcher is gone. Good.
Someone asked for a ride? Weapons team at your command, sir. Get in that building! Set up a base of fire! Anti-armor at your command, sir. Regroup and move up!
Okay, so there's the tank. Alright, so we don't have to worry too much about what the tank is doing.
Someone call for a cab? Lab ready for combat! Moving out.
I would, however, like another one of these.
Moving out.
Now, one upside, at least for me, about the A222 is that it's only, has a 130 millimeter gun. Now, this is an upside
Once a Marine, always a Marine! We have a building to secure!
because a 130 millimeter gun does not have a particularly large bursting charge.
Troop transport taking fire! Don't stay here, drive!
Which means that
Lab at your command, sir. Ass is
which means that I'm not going to have to worry too much about I'm not going to have to worry too much about, well, I'm still going to have to worry about the artillery. There is another tank over there.
Solid copy. Heading back to FOB.
There's a tank over there as well. Oh, and the javelin sees him. Crunch. Oh, you're sight onto a javelin. If memory serves, once all the tanks are destroyed, there's a mini amphibious assault that the other side will throw at us.
U.S. Marines, ready for duty. Copy. We take that building. Get your asses in that building. On the move. Lab ready. Good copy. Next waypoint received. Personal carrier here. Roger. We're Oscar Mike. Lab here. We're combat ready.
If you do this right, you can take out the
Lab ready for combat.
you can take out the
Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
um,
Weapons team here. Here's our ride. Let's head in.
if you do this right,
Marines Force Recon here. Send traffic. Armored transport. Standing by.
you can basically
Roger. Moving out.
take out the
Mortar ready, sir. Artillery on the move.
Okay, so after a very risky relocation of my mortars,
Mortar ready to engage, sir.
I can now hit these areas.
Copy.
And you know what? I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. In fact,
Mortar available, sir.
can I... No, I am just out of range. Alright, that's fine. That's no big deal. I can move the mortars up maybe in here if necessary. You
Transport, standing by. All asses dismount.
need to offload in there. You need to go up here.
Hoorah!
You need to pile in there.
Armored transport reporting in. Roger. We're on the move.
That's another tank. That's another group of reservists. What can that building see? Not much. I don't really want to put recon in there or they'll get engaged by those guys.
Lab, awaiting order.
Although, to be fair,
Already there.
I think I can skirt the LAV-25. Well, we just hit something explosive.
Missile launcher taken out.
What's that? KH-29. Okay. That's not necessarily important right now.
Pedal to the metal. Roger. Moving out. All trench monkeys, dismount. Lab at your command, sir. Roger. We're Oscar Mike. One more hit and our artillery is done. Mortar engaged. What are your orders? Pedal to the middle. Heavy weapons ready. We have a building to secure. Lab standing by. Troop transport ready. Personal carrier ready. Mortar engaged. Requesting orders. Don't stay here. Drive. Lab here. Go ahead. Backwards.
Okay. So there was something explosive over there. I'm guessing the other sand battery is either is in one of these two spots. But there's infantry in these buildings that we need to remove, put it politely. And there are tanks.
Roger. Moving out. Order in combat. What are your orders? Keep driving.
No.
Hit the gas, driver. Force recon standing by. Lab here. Special operator down. I repeat, operator down.
Oh, great, the
Force
tank's
recon,
back.
fire. Awaiting command. Up and smoke. Moving out.
And they don't have visual.
Lab standing by. Get out in 10 seconds. Not 10 fucking minutes. Vehicle heavily damaged. Need maintenance. Armored transport under fire.
I don't think the tank's dead.
Marines at your command, sir. Get in that building. Farcon engaged in combat. Transport here. We're in combat. For it, go!
No, there's the tank again.
Force recon in combat. Lab reporting in.
Actually, no.
No time to lose. Someone asked for a ride? Good copy. Next waypoint received. Roger. We're on the move. Who needs support?
Can you just start?
Roger. Call for fire received. Roger. Moving to next waypoint. Lab, ready for action.
Crunch.
U.S. Marine, ready for combat.
Okay.
Lab in combat, awaiting orders.
That's one thing taken care of.
Punch it, full speed.
Oh,
Lab reporting in.
you can...
Mission's over. Let's head back to base. Personal carrier ready. Get your asses out of my vehicle.
Hoorah! Haul ass!
Okay. Now...
Heavy armor here. We're engaged.
Okay, so they are moving up.
Marines in combat. Send your orders.
Shoot it. There you go. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that it took two,
Armored transport ready. Moving there now.
two javelins to kill a single BRDM, but okay.
Order engaged. Send your orders. Armored transport reporting in. Copy. Relocating. Lab ready for combat. Asses out.
Vehicle, I need that. And then I need one of these back over here.
Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
Okay, so... we have largely got this. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Unass, everybody.
What? No.
Mission's over. Heading back to FOB. Armored transport, standing by. Moving there now.
So I'm guessing the fourth one's over there, and then the last two are over there. And oh look, they've got yet another tank. That is fine, because I have a plan.
Lab standing by.
Indeed, I do. I do. I do.
Roger. We're on the move.
I do indeed have a plan. I wonder. Let me do something mildly dumb. Can you...
Pedal to the metal.
Now I'm wondering if you can,
Lab ready. Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
if you can,
Personal carrier here. Lab, awaiting order. Roger, moving out. Troop transport ready. Someone asked for a ride? All asses dismount.
hang on, what's blowing up? Okay, stuff over there.
Lab, reporting in. Everybody out. Marines Force Recon at your command. Moving. Someone call for a cab? Pedal to the metal. Lab at your command, sir. Armored transport, ready. Everyone, dismount. U.S. Marine, ready for combat. Squad, move out.
Right, that's a tank. New plant. Guys, yeah, no. Get back in.
Transport, engage in combat.
Right. That wasn't good.
Logistics ready.
Why are you over there?
Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
That's like the worst possible... Hmm.
Our vehicle has been hit. Need repairs. Keep driving. Lab here. Go ahead.
Okay, so that is one tank dead. Now, is that going to heal the guys in the building?
Enemy tank eliminated.
It is.
The entire tank platoon has been destroyed. Good job.
Now, if memory serves, when this happened, the Russians apparently got angry and sent
Who wants a skylight for his house? Proceeding to next base of fire.
a small amphibious assault in our direction.
Swift, silent, deadly.
So, load back up in there.
Mortar ready. Send mission. Call for fire received.
Nope, just out of range. I can fix that by putting them in there.
Lab here. We're combat ready.
Or the SAM battery could be right there.
Mortar ready to engage, sir. We're on the move. Mortar available, sir. Fire mission received.
Hang on. These helicopters, what do they have? Rocket pods and a 30mm autocannon and a minigun. Okay, so I still don't want to get into a fight with one, but they aren't carrying anti-tank guided missiles, which is good.
That missile launcher is gone. Good.
And how many have we scratched? Okay, so we've splattered 3 of them.
Mortar ready. Send coordinates.
Let's not spare the ammunition, guys.
Received. Lab here.
Missile launcher destroyed.
Thank you.
Mortar ready, sir. Solid copy. Fire mission received.
And there's the last
Missile
one.
launcher destroyed.
That was the last anti-aircraft launcher. The way is clear for the planes. I'm sending in an air raid to deal with the artillery.
So this is new, F-35B, 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 F-35. Okay.
Coastal artillery destroyed. Now take that fort and establish a defensive perimeter. Enemy paratroopers are mobilizing for a counterattack as we speak.
Aww. What you could do back in the back when this is the demo mission for the February beta was you could once you took out the SAMs, you had access to helicopters, and it was so much fun to just grab a couple of AH-1Zs and then just clean up this entire area. Especially if you've taken out, especially if you took out the SAMs before you took out all the tanks. That made basically everything else trivial.
Commander, you can call in helicopters from the reinforcements panel.
Oh, and they don't have what's its? Oh, I'm on an actual dedicated timer now. Okay. Noted. Okay, back again. I got about halfway through this one and then I had to cut it short. So, after giving it another try, I think I might have figured out how they want us to play the mission. It's pretty different from the demo back February 2024. Back then, you could be patient to some degree, because back then you could Marines
Force Recon here. Set traffic. Fort guard ready.
because back then
Lab, engage in combat.
you could be pretty conservative and what it would do is you could take out the SAMs, and basically the way I did it back during the February beta was I got my mortars close, took out the SAMs, which would then allow you to call in helicopters, and then I could just call in a pair of AH-1Zs and mop up everything, including the tanks and the subsequent infantry, the subsequent naval infantry assault afterwards, which they do actually show up. The naval infantry does show up, but I don't think that is in the February beta. That was triggered when in the February beta, that was triggered when you
Already there. Artillery on.
that was triggered when you destroyed all 3 of the tanks. Here, it seems to be triggered when you destroy what appears to be about 4 of the 6 SAM systems. In the previous beta, if you destroyed 2 of the SAM systems, you would be attacked by infantry in BTR-80s. One of them would, you'd have one coming down this road and another coming down this road that you'd have to deal with. Not particularly complicated, but worth noting. And
Breaker 1-9, who needs supplies? Lab, reporting in.
and
Lab, at your command, sir. Here's our lift.
and you'd so you destroy 2 of the SAM sites. You get attacked by a couple of BTR-80s. I say SAM sites. SAM systems get attacked by a couple of BTR-80s. Destroy 2 more. Get attacked by a couple more BTR-80s, and then destroy the last 2. But you didn't need to destroy the tanks in order to take out the SAMs. And this was particularly notable because, again, what I would do was I would take the SAMs out, and I would then call in the helicopters. The helicopters would basically mop up everything. And as long as I didn't go straight to the fort and destroy the anti-aircraft guns, I was basically free to do whatever I needed to before the
Lab ready.
before the
Mission is over. Return to base.
I was basically free to do whatever I needed to do before the start of the next phase, where the air assault begins, the VDV parachute in. You can't do that here, because the moment you take out this last SAM battery, and I only have one left over here, an airstrike comes rolling in and takes the fort out, and then you basically have 6 minutes to get over there and get in defensive positions. Which, as you might imagine, is a bit of a pest.
Someone call for a cab? Troop transport reporting in.
So, what I've done here
Order ready. Send mission. Artillery relocating.
is I have distinctly waited to destroy the SAMs, and I'm going to wait, and then before I go and take out the last SAM battery, I'm gonna make sure everything's all sorted out, because you don't necessarily have the luxury of taking your time once you destroy the last S350 battery. Where's that artillery coming down?
Troop transport ready. Return fire only. Copy that. Copy. Relocating.
It's coming down there. So I think I cleared out all of the, nope, I did not. There is, in fact,
Lab here. Engaging the enemy. Someone call for a cab? We're engaging. Mortar engaged. What are your orders? No ROE. Fire at will. Fire only when fired upon.
also, one of my mortars has been hit. Oh, it's fine. It's just a,
Mortar engaged. Send your orders.
yeah, you're fine. It's just a scratch.
Who wants a skylight
So everyone should be fully stocked, fully loaded, fully everything prior to starting this.
Personal carrier here. Someone asked for a ride?
And I think I have eliminated all of the enemy opposition on this side of the peninsula. Now it's just this poor, lonesome Sam battery over here wondering when I'm going to
Lab, ready for action.
decide that it no longer
Troop transport reporting in.
decide that it no longer that it has outlived its usefulness. And that decision is facing me right now.
Missile launcher destroyed!
That was the last anti-aircraft launcher. The way is clear for the planes. I'm sending in an air raid to deal with the artillery.
Order at your command, sir. We're on the move.
Oh, fireworks.
Coastal artillery destroyed. Now take that fort and establish a defensive perimeter. Enemy paratroopers are mobilizing for a counterattack as we speak.
Okay, I have a problem. So, we've already demonstrated that we have at least a passing we've already demonstrated that we have a degree of, I wouldn't say air superiority, but air presence. The F-35s showing up, and the sudden lack of surface-to-air missile systems. So, explain to me why enemy transport aircraft are going to be able to get close enough to drop paratroopers. Excuse me. If the F-35s are clearly have enough range to hit the fort, why couldn't you just have a couple circling overhead ready to introduce the IL-76s to AMRAAM?
Air assets are now available, Commander. You can call in helicopters from the reinforcements panel.
Thank you. That's actually a point. I have 4 Ospreys. I can call in 2 more squads of Marines. And an Osprey. And I can call in... I'm gonna want these 2. And I'm actually going to call in 2 squads of Marines in an Osprey, because I think they're going to be useful. And there's my helicopters. Yes, they appear to have taken off from the water. Don't ask. Huzzah! At my amphibious armada. Fear it. There's one of the LAVs. There's one of the LAVs. He's cute. You know, actually, while I'm thinking about it, why don't we have access... Why don't we have the ACV? Why don't we have the ACV? I want the ACV.
AH-1 reporting in. Flying there now.
Fly the Vipers in.
Flying to fort.
Just, what's that? Naval infantry, naval infantry.
Heading there.
Go to ham, guys.
Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed.
Ooh, they just had a bad day. Lots of naval infantry. Get it. Where's my mortars?
Who needs support? Mortar available, sir. Mortar ready to engage, sir.
And this is why the helicopters are so much fun.
Mortar ready, sir. Roger. Fire coordinates received.
I'm sorry, but the guys manning the mortars seem particularly enthusiastic about that. More naval infantry. Where can I drop these where they're going to be? Here, I guess. What are... Oh, they're shooting at that. Goodbye. Just all the explosions from all the 40mm grenades.
Armored transport, standing by. Viper ready for combat.
What are these things kitted out with? An M197, APKWS, which I've already run out of, and then the AGM-14Ks, which are going to do an absolute number against pretty much anything with armor. So now they're basically just busy attacking with their autocannon. And I've got 3.5 minutes to set up. Where is...
Osprey, awaiting mission.
Thank you. And I'm going to want you
Copy that. Unhooking immediately.
to offload right there.
Mortar ready. Send coordinates. Fire coordinates received.
The ships are on their way. Your orders are to hold your position until the arrival of the landing party.
Cool. Thank you. I have multiple naval infantry squads. And I believe they're going to want me to hold those buildings at some point. So what do you have? SAM team.
Fire team at your command, sir. Check the leg.
I want you over here. And
Lab at your command, sir. Armored transport reporting in.
you join them.
Lab, awaiting orders. Moving there now.
What are you?
Armored transport is ready. Pedal to the metal. Personal carrier ready.
Actually, no. Offload the stand. Go there.
Personal carrier here.
You need to go over there.
Transport reporting in.
And you need to go over there. I'd like to have 4 squads of Marines and 2 squads of each. The Assaultmen and the Raiders in those buildings. And then
Combat ready.
LAV.
Lab standing by.
What are you? Okay, so yeah, you I want over there. And then you I also want over there.
Waypoint received. The Viper is in the air. New flight plan received.
Osprey at your command.
Oh, these Ospreys have the miniguns. Noted.
Those high-rises overlooking the fort will make our position indefensible if enemy troops take them.
you. I'm well aware of that, but thank you.
Osprey, standing by. Cargo drop, watch your heads.
Troop transport ready. Troop transport reporting in. Viper is combat ready. Who needs support?
Osprey, ready.
Just pull that back.
Osprey, reporting in.
Pull that back.
Marines at your command, sir. Shut up and let's go. U.S. Marines ready for duty. On ass, we're moving. Someone asked for a ride? Moving out. Already there. Roger. Moving to next waypoint. Roger. Moving out. Viper. Marines at your orders, sir.
Alright, they can't pile in because,
Armored transport ready.
that's a bit of a pest. There's not enough space.
Viper awaiting mission. AH-1 standing by. Flying there. Full power. Viper here. Good copy. Fire coordinates received. Someone call for a cab? Everybody out! On ass, everybody! Get your asses out of my vehicle! All asses dismount! U.S. Marines, ready for combat! Marines!
Boy.
Hoorah! Get in that building! Get your asses in that building!
And so we've still got 2 minutes until the air assault arrives, and it looks like we need to hold the fort for, what is that, 8.5 minutes? 6.5? I think that's 6.5. Which is fine.
Vehicle hit! Holy shit, that was close! Lab ready!
Who? Ah.
Troop transport in combat! Viper at your command. Flight plan updated. AH-1 reporting in. Personal carrier, under fire! Mission's over. Heading back to FOB.
BT-3F.
Troop transport, standing by.
The Marines are still huffing it. Crunch. That used to be a troop transport vehicle, and then it took an AGM 114 to the roof.
Lab ready for combat.
Force recon ready. Swift, silent, deadly.
Lab here. Go ahead.
Marines force recon at your command.
Armored transport standing by.
U.S. Marines ready for duty.
Personal carrier ready.
U.S. Marines ready for combat. Double dogs here.
Transport here. We're in combat. Get us the fuck out of here!
Marines here. We are engaged. Marines standing by. Double time. U.S. Marine, hoorah! Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Lab reporting in.
Don't shoot unless you're detected. Don't shoot unless fired upon.
Armored transport under fire.
Marines at your command, sir.
Troop transport reporting in.
AH-1 standing by. Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. New heading set. Orcon engaged in combat.
Okay.
The Viper is in the air.
Fly over there to help remedy that problem. How much time do I have? I only have 45 seconds. Okay.
The enemy paratroopers have taken off and will be on you any minute now.
Thank you. Actually, you know what? That might just be enough time.
Viper here. Heading there.
Pedal to the metal.
Maximum power.
Guild Runner aircraft here. DZ in sight. Prepare to unload.
This is it! The enemy paratroopers are here!
Yay! I need to hold the fort for another 4 minutes. That shouldn't be hard. Okay, well that did not work.
Smoke screen deployed. Our vehicle has been hit. True transport taking fire. Personal carrier here. Viper awaiting mission. Viper.
And the mortars do not have the range. That's a bit of a pest.
Viper is combat ready. AH-1 standing by.
Okay. It's engaging. Oh, BMD2. Noted. Or at least it was a BMD2.
Viper awaiting mission.
You're getting shot at. Try not to die.
Raider, hoorah! Marines, at your orders, sir.
Okay.
Viper.
I was going to try and top off some supplies to top up their health and ammunition, but that plan did not work. Okay, so I only have to hold for about the next 2 minutes. And they still have these Igla teams, which are going to be a bit of a pest.
Defend the smoke.
They...
Someone call for a cab.
So one of the two vehicles has deployed smoke. It seems like they're mostly focusing their efforts over here rather than on the fort itself. That's both good in that the primary objective is not likely to be taken, and it's both bad because, well, they're focusing all their efforts on a area that admittedly I have not
Viper here.
completely fortified.
Our vehicle took a hit. We need maintenance.
2S9 Nona.
Transport here. We're in combat. Armored transport reporting in. Someone ask for a ride?
Can I try and pull them back? I'm honestly not sure I can.
Transport here. We're engaged. Move the fuck out. Full speed.
But I can at least put that one behind the building.
Special operator down. I repeat, operator down.
Okay, who's being attacked? Force Recon is being attacked.
Order available, sir. Fire mission received. Viper at your command. Lab here. Moving out. Copy. Relocating.
-30. Igla team melts. Okay, so they have 3 Igla teams over there.
Mortar, ready to fire. Roger, moving to next waypoint.
Can I get another?
Special forces reporting. We got KIAs. Falcon in combat. AH-1 reporting in. Viper.
No, I just want the 2 helicopters.
The Viper is in the air.
Thank you. Can I?
Troop transport, standing by. Roger.
I don't.
Oscar Mike.
I mean, I'm gonna try and pull these 2 back, but I'm honestly not sure I can.
Armor transport, ready. Roger. We're on the move. Troop transport, ready. Personal carrier here.
What is that? ATGM? Don't know. It's fired by the Iglas, so I'm guessing it missed. Although I'm pretty sure that Igla, when it hits the no.
Viper ready for combat.
So they have no more rockets.
Full power. Descending. Heading there.
Pull back, preferably while still wailing on those guys. And we just lost one of the AAVPs. Neds. That's a bit of a pest. Where is my Osprey?
Osprey tiltrotor aircraft here.
There's my Osprey. Just
Cargo helicopter approaching the DZ.
tell it to unload. There's a lot of infantry over there, infantry over there. So it's predominantly infantry. That's not necessarily. Hang on. Okay, well I forgot to grab the mic, so that's probably gonna mess up the audio. Ooh, what are you firing at? Helicopters.
The landing party is almost there. Hold tight.
I've got a minute and a half. Noted.
Who wants the skylight for his house? Call for fire received. One more hit and our vehicle's done.
Oh, we lost an LAV-25. Nuts. They're also pounding the bejeebles out of those buildings.
Someone call for a cab? Special forces report casualties.
Where's the Osprey? Where is the Osprey? There's the Osprey.
You won't find a faster lawnmower.
Well, do you have a, do you by any chance have a Slav mower on there? I could use one.
RTB.
AH-1 standing by. Viper awaiting mission.
Oh, and we lost another one of the A2s. It's a pest.
Good copy. Next waypoint received.
We only have about 30 seconds to go.
Troop transport. Standing by. Roger. Call for fire. Repeat.
Can you kindly pound the living bejeebles out of them?
Marines Force Recon here. Send traffic. We're not afraid of the distance.
And more iglas. More iglas. Okay, so the iglas are actually a bit of a problem. Because I would definitely like to, Flight of the Valkyries style ride in some... some helicopters, but flying into those iglas are going to be just a touch suicidal. Okay, who was just hit? One of the AAVPs. Oh, that's because they have a melts.
Armored transport reporting in.
Igla melts M.
Viper is combat ready. AH-1 standing by. Flying to coordinates. Flying there.
The landing party is finally here. Time for the big show.
Okay, because, things are going at just a touch sideways. I've got a lot of infantry I'd rather not have to deal with. Note to self, though, they're going to predominantly focus on the buildings and this side of the fort, so I'll have to remember that for organizing my forces the next time I decide to play this mission. Still, though, we demonstrated that we had air superiority, or at least well, not necessarily, well, a degree of air superiority. We could operate. So why did the paratroopers, not
Here's
paratroopers?
the situation, Commander. Your group holding the fort has drawn the enemy to the tip of the peninsula. Our landing party is ready to flank them, trap them, and finish them off. Our landing crafts and helicopters give us the ability to strike anywhere on the coast. But we have a limited amount of troops, and bringing reinforcements ashore will take time. So you need to define your priorities. The enemy paratroopers have dropped the bulk of their equipment in the fields to the north of the town. They need
Okay.
to regroup for a while, but will soon be ready to attack. Striking them first would save us some trouble. The city garrison is still in disarray. Seizing the city center immediately without giving them time to reorganize would make the task much simpler. And you need to hurry, Commander. Your men at the fort won't hold forever.
Right. Oh, cool. We can summon an Elcax. Okay, so what do we got? We got Marines in those buildings. That's not exactly how I laid everything out, I don't think, but okay. We have a guided missile destroyer and an LHA. Okay. Marines. Ooh. Force enhancement package. I think. You. Ah, boo. I was hoping for a trophy. Oh well, can't have it all, I guess. LAV-ADs, LAV-ADs. Or, that's another FEP. LAV-L, FEP. So we have an LAV-AD. And I have an LCAC. What can this necessarily get me? An obscene amount of supplies and infantry. I wonder, can this thing drive on, like, on land? Because if it can, that's an interesting nod to reality. LAV, we have a Miklik, LAV-AD, FEP, A2, EAAK, LAV-L. Alright, what do I want? Answer. I want a couple more tanks. I only have one of them available. Okay, so... Okay, well I can't get another tank. I'm just gonna go with another tank. FEP, FEP, FEP. So I have 3 tanks, and I'm gonna get 4 tanks. I want tanks. Tanks are very, very useful. Helicopters... I can actually grab a CH-53 and airlift another LAV-AD. So, what do we got? We've got the city centers here. That's not going to be necessarily unusual. The VDV landing zone predominantly was there. Mixed spawn point over there. What is that? That's a ship. That's what that is. Now, if memory serves, from the demo mission, there was a rocket strike from this area that the Russians called on you when you were in when you were occupied. Ural 4320 with a ZU-23-2. That might be a touch of a problem. Okay, so I realize that this is probably a really bad idea, but I'm going to split my force in half. I want... So I need to set up a new base of operations. Basically a new supply point that is going to be convenient for both of these. So I'm thinking over here would work. So what I'm going to want is I'd like to link up with my guys over here. And I would like to... Alright, so when it comes to link camp with my guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pair of the tanks, one of the LAV-25s, and... Okay, and then I'm going to split my force in half again. And the reason why I'm doing this is I've got half of my infantry, or half of my available forces are going to have to push through link up with my guys at the fort. And the other half, I want to set up a tentative resupply point somewhere around here so that it's convenient for both of these. But I need to basically secure this area first. And for that matter, I want a pair of helicopters. Now, obviously, getting near that is going to be incredibly dangerous and very dumb, so I would rather not. At least not until my forces can take that thing out. With my group, what is your group? Williams, what is your group? City center. Alright, and I picked the city center because it's the closest to where I am. Which means that I can support Williams and vice versa. Because, well, just the physical the physical distance between me and Williams is going to be much shorter.
Abrams, ready to roll. Vehicle status is red.
Oh joy.
Transport engaged in combat. Heavy cab, ready to roll. Lab standing by.
CH-53 heavy lift helicopter here. Staying low.
Okay, so scratch that. That's good. I probably should have sent in the AH-1s before I sent in the,
Request immediate RTB.
What do we have? BMP-3F. Ah, okay. There's the problem.
CH-53 here.
Offload that, please.
Tank status red. Situation is hot. Abrams here. We're in combat.
Can you kill that thing?
Troop transport in combat. Armored transport engaged in combat. Personal carrier under fire. Personnel carrier in combat.
Why can't I tell you where to...
Lab at your command, sir. Driver, backwards.
Hang on. Oh, because they're on an elevation.
Abrams here, we're engaged. Abrams here, we're combat ready.
Oh, and that's why the vehicle can't move. They've suffered a mobility kill.
In combat, what are your orders?
CH-53 ready to lift.
Noted. Okay, so can I get...
Lab, ready for action.
Oh, hi. Sabo to the face, sunshine. Was that Sabo? No, it was HE. I mean, the result's still the same. He's gonna have a massive headache. Well, I mean, he's not. He's about to be dead, so. There we go. Spalutch. Okay, so bring in some A2AD. Williams. Is that all Williams brought? I was expecting something like tanks. Well, if Williams is going to try to assault the city centers with that, that force is going to get mulched. Just straight up. That force is going to get mulched. Right now, I am trying to remedy the disaster that was my attempt to trying to remedy the disaster that was my attempt to relieve those guys over there. Let's see, what do we got? I have a nagging suspicion I can't just push up with the helicopters, because if I try it, they've probably got a bunch of air defense, and I don't really want that.
Viper at your command.
Rocket barrage incoming! Keep your heads down!
Where? And more importantly, where is it landing? Grads. Oh, I think it's landing on these guys. Well, that's gonna...
Lab, ready for action.
This is probably gonna hurt. And there goes one of the labs. Nuts.
Viper ready for combat.
At least the tanks are in a better position to do something.
M1 Abrams ready for action. Understood. Unloading cargo. Unload cargo ASAP.
Is that how you welcome all your tourists around here?
Overhead, we need to pull out.
We have detected the origin of the strike. A few cruise missiles from our destroyer would teach them some manners.
Yes, thank you. Can I pause the stupid game? Preferably before I lost one of my helicopters. Fine. And...
Harley Burke at your orders.
cool. SM6s. Actually, what do we got? 5-inch gun. Very nice range. Good accuracy. What about this? Decent range. Tomahawks. SM6s, which... although they are semi-active, which is kind of weird. Missiles per target 2. With these things? Ugh. Multi-target. And then we have a pair of CIWS. Alright. Also, this thing apparently costs 9 points.
Destroyer at your orders.
Okay, so what's happening now?
Flight plan updated. New flight plan received. Flying there now. I got my ears on. Go ahead. Logistics ready.
I can't. No, I do have some LAVLs. Huh. Okay. I just don't have much of anything that I can deploy. Unless I'm supposed to deploy them through the LCAC. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm supposed to do.
Sailing the coordinates. Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me. Heavy cav is on the field. M1 Abrams warmed up and ready to go. Armored transport standing by. Armored transport ready. Anti-aircraft here. Lab here.
Okay.
Heavy transport here. Send traffic.
I feel like an idiot.
Lab awaiting order. Breaker 19. Who needs supply?
You do. Okay.
Engines full ahead.
Slight problem, guys. Just get it sorted out.
Landing craft at your command. New course set.
All right.
Destroyer standing by. Action stations. Lab here. We're in combat.
Oh, they've got a tank.
Popping smoke. Heavy cav is on the field. Landing craft awaiting instructions. Heading back to the carrier. I want all firepower on that position.
How long is it gonna take? Aim time. 1 second. Okay. Okay. This thing's just a touch OP.
Lab standing by. Everyone dismount. LCAC ready. Unloading zone in sight. Heavy armor is
I need... Well, nuts.
Shooting position.
Whatever. Well, I think we hit something explosive over there.
Landing craft here. Unloading zone received.
BMP-2. I still need to hit that area.
Sailing a new course. Unloading zone confirmed.
Hang on. What's the speed? Forward speed. Amphibious speed. Huh.
LCAC standing by. Someone call for a cab? Roger, we're Oscar Mike. Pedal to the metal.
Oh, they have an attack helicopter.
Lab, awaiting orders.
Oh, there's a tank. Okay.
Hollywood destroyer standing by.
Give me another fire mission. How far out can... Very far. Noted. Okay, cool.
Target located. Activating weapons.
Are they,
Stand by. Awaiting instructions. Ollie Burke at your command. Target received. Engaging.
just saturate that area, please. With high explosives. I am not in a mood to be friendly right now.
They scratched our paint job. Heavy cab engaged. Defensive smoke. Lab ready. Lab ready for combat.
You need to be in there.
Tactical truck ready to haul. Landing craft ready.
You pull back.
Put those eggs in the basket. Lab ready.
And I can't actually, extract you.
We need maintenance. Need supplies?
I need one of these, one of these, one of these. Okay, I am trying to split my attention between two categories. There's a BMP-2.
Landing craft at your orders. Landing craft here. Destroyer at your command. I want all firepower on this position. I got my ears on. Go ahead. Force recon standing by. Abrams, ready to roll.
I'm pretty sure I've knocked out a vast majority of the enemy presence over there.
Viper.
Oh no, not quite. There's still one squad.
Landing craft at your command. Unloading zone in sight. Logi here, send traffic. Lab here. Good copy. Next waypoint received. LCAC standing by.
Okay, get the heck out of there.
I got my ears on. Go ahead. Moving to rendezvous. Need supplies? Troop transport, standing by. Personal carrier here. Heavy transport here, send traffic. Let's grab them containers.
Grab that. And then grab.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me.
And tell it to dump right there. What? No. That's what I need. Also, we still apparently haven't destroyed this area. So...
Destroyer here. Battle stations.
just saturate that again. Hopefully we hit something important this time.
Holy shit, that was close.
And I just lost one of the LAV-80s. Fine. Oh, and I can't replace it. So, where is the LAV-AD? Over here.
Lab at your command, sir. Roger. Moving out.
That one needs to go over there.
Tactical truck ready to haul. Unloading.
And
Breaker 1-9. Who needs supplies?
you go over there.
Heavy cab, ready to roll. Heavy cab, ready to rumble.
Let's see, what am I doing?
Recon here. Extraction team is here. Viper awaiting mission.
What do you see? BT-3F. Okay, I could use the helicopter to,
AH-1 standing by.
or not, because there's someone over there that is
Combat ready.
opposed to its existence. That's a point.
Hollyburg destroyer ready.
Grab you. I don't know what was shooting at me from over there, but it was shooting at me from over there. I don't like that.
AH-1 reporting in.
And then have that pull back.
Troop transport reporting in. Lab standing by. Lab here. Go ahead.
Let's see. I wonder if I could get an LCAC over here.
Someone asked for a ride?
That might have been the
Lab ready for combat.
simple, quote-unquote, solution to that particular problem.
Abrams here. We're combat ready. Driving to coordinates. Copy. Relocating.
The Viper is in the air. Roger Wilco.
We've linked
Flight
up
plan
with the
confirmed.
Marines holding the fort. There are many wounded requiring treatment, but those in good shape are eager to continue the fight with us.
Well, good.
Death or glory. That's the spirit.
That's not good. And there's another T-90. Hang on. Is that like a T-90 or like a I don't know. Helicopter.
Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed.
Again, there's something over there that is particularly offended by the helicopter's existence. Okay, so LAVM, Marines, Recon.
Marines at your command, sir.
Where is that LAVL?
Lab at your command, sir. Lobby here, send traffic. Heavy transport here, send traffic. Time to gross out.
Are they gonna pick that up or put it down?
Lab here.
Don't know. Also, that helicopter is offended by the existence of something over there. Can that helicopter no, that helicopter's too far away to see the tank.
Viper ready for combat.
Let's try and fix that. There we go. Now we can see the armor. So...
Marines! Marching keeps us fit. Get your gear, we're moving out! Marines, standing by!
LAVM.
Artillery on the move.
Actually, no.
Relocating to the next emplacement.
Double dogs here!
Troop transport ready. Armor moving out.
Those guys need to go over there. I've got a helicopter.
We've been hit!
A helicopter with air-to-air missiles.
Roger, egressing.
Okay, I was hoping to get them out of there before that happened, but...
Tactical truck ready to haul. Ain't nothing gonna get in our way. Need supplies? Dumping cargo. Prepare for transportation. Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
All trench monkeys, dismount.
I got my ears on. Go ahead.
10-16, approaching for pickup.
And so they've got a pair of helicopters over there from the looks of it. Speaking of... grab me a CH-53 with 2,000 supplies. Fly it in there to top these guys off. And then... once the rest of this links with the, okay, yeah, that didn't last very long. Once the rest of these guys links with these guys, which I hope they don't do anything stupid.
One more hit and our vehicle's done.
What are you talking about?
Lab under fire. Requesting orders. Lab, awaiting order. Smoke screen.
Big road is ours.
You got something to lift? Drop zone coordinates received.
Arleigh Burke destroyer here.
Alright, helicopters can't be engaged by air defenses because... reasons. Which sucks, because otherwise that would solve the problem
Destroyer ready.
quite nicely.
All weapons shoot on this position.
I'm just going to resort to shelling that area. I've got plenty of 5-inch HE.
Vehicle damaged. Requesting maintenance. Air defense. We're in combat. Smoke deployed.
You need something lifted?
Okay, so that's the immediate air threat taken care of.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me. Ain't nothing gonna get in the highway. Let's dump that. Hawk on, standing by. US-3, ready for duty. Hoorah. Order ready to engage, sir. Heavy cavalry ready for action. Vehicle heavily damaged. Need maintenance.
CH-53 heavy lifter here. Mission's over. We're out.
Transport here. We're engaged.
Okay. Now, what am I trying to do? Huh. Now I have access to LAVMs. Okay. Instead of that, what I think I'm going to do is I want another LAV-AD, at the very least, because air defense good, air defense very good.
Logistics ready. Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
And I'm going to try and load those two up once I'm done with them. And then when I get another couple of tanks.
Order ready, sir. Throttle, full ahead. Sailing the coordinates. Sailing the new course.
And ideally, I'd like to basically make a sort of armored push into these areas and then take this area. At least that's my plan as... Well, that's a bit of a pest.
Tactical truck ready to haul. Our vehicle took a hit. We need maintenance.
Where is that rocket artillery coming from? Over here. Somewhere. Don't know. Somewhere. Over there. Okay, but they are really starting to get on my nerves.
Heavy armor here. We're engaged. Personal carrier ready.
Alright.
Need supplies? LCAC here. Logistic vehicle under fire. Mortar ready. Send mission. Roger. Charlie Mike.
Have them move over there.
LCAC ready. Troop transport ready. Roger. Moving out. Landing craft at your orders. LCAC standing by. Let's get back to the carrier. Armored is rolling out. M1 Abrams ready for action. Logi here, send traffic. Breaker 1-9, who needs supplies? This is becoming a pedal run.
It's becoming a bit more than that. Okay, so
Heavy transport here, send traffic. Orcon here. I got my ears on, go ahead. Cargo dumped. Orcon ready. Heavy armor is ready to rumble.
now I'm gonna try and get all that infantry. Do I have... an AH-1Z?
Heading back to the carrier. M1 Abrams here. We're in combat. Heavy cav is on the field.
Hang on. This is why we invented counter battery radars. I think the fire's coming from there.
Harley Burke at your orders. All hands, action station.
Okay, now let's see. What do we have here?
Armored transport reporting in. Heavy cab, ready to roll. Solid copy, moving out. M1 Abrams ready for action. Armored transport ready. Marines at your orders, sir. Lab reporting in.
Where is...
Warmed up and ready to go. Heavy cavalry ready for action. Heavy cab ready to rumble.
I thought I had a second... I thought I had a second LAV AD. Oh, who knows.
Viper at your command. Heading there. Anti-aircraft standing by. Personal carrier here.
Okay, and then just bring that over there.
Mortar at your command, sir. Artillery relocating.
No. I do like the zoom in function, but it's a little bit
Force recon ready.
zealous at times.
Squad, move out. Mortar available, sir.
I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to do with that mortar, but okay.
Throttle full ahead.
T90. So I've got, I need to hold that, I need to hold that, I need to hold that. In fact, I think that is what I'm going to focus on first.
Heavy armor is on the field.
So,
Abrams here. We're combat ready. Abrams, ready to roll. Good copy. Next waypoint received.
I want to direct
Troop transport, standing by.
a couple of those there.
Landing craft ready. Unlock cargo ASAP.
What is that? Okay, that's motor rifles. That's not a big deal.
Air defense at your disposal.
And I'm gonna send one of the LAV-80s with them because of course you know they just show up with Mi-95s.
Viper. Viper ready for combat. Logi here, send traffic.
Oh, okay, so Williams forces actually got that far. Wow, that's kind of surprising. At least the AI knows what it's doing. I'm not going to knock it. How many tanks did I...
M1 Abrams, warmed up and ready to go.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought I had 6 tanks.
The Viper is in the air. Moving as ordered.
And let's see.
Make way.
Okay, so that is a lot of hostile infantry. And the tank, that's preferably about to get an AGM-114 through the roof.
Fast landing assistance. What can I do for you?
Mass landing assistance.
Landing craft at your command. Back to the mothership.
You know what? New plan.
New course set.
Go over there and pick up those guys.
AH-1 reporting in. Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. Flying there. Troop transport reporting in. Viper awaiting mission. Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. Who needs support? Solid copy. Fire mission received. Lab here. Go ahead. Lab reporting in.
Go over there. So I'm going to use the LCAC to just load these guys up, and then once this is clear, I'm going to dump them up right there. And then I'm going to pull the LCAC back. And then I'm going to try and advance onto that point.
Heavy cab ready to rumble. Bring us there in 10 seconds, not 10 fucking minutes. Copy. Relocating.
I'm still going to try and see if I can't hunt down this stupid
AH-1 standing by.
MLRS.
One more hit and our vehicle's done. Armored transport under fire.
Well, nuts.
Marines here. We're under fire.
Where is the other... That's what I need.
Armored transport standing by. Passes out. Vehicle status red. Situation's hot.
Who's getting attacked?
Personal carrier engaged in combat.
What are they getting attacked by?
Someone calling for a cab? Already there. Heavy armor in combat. Move the fuck out, driver. Full speed. Heavy armor is on the field. Heavy cab, ready to roll. Lab here.
And then... I assume we need to hold these points. So... The helicopters are working over enemy armor, which is exactly what I need them to do, in all honesty. What is that? I'm not entirely sure what they're shooting at.
Personal carrier under fire. Someone asked for a ride? Pedal to the metal.
Ooh! Crunch.
Marines Force Recon at your command.
Lab, ready for action.
I thought I had 2 squads of Force Recon. There's the other one.
Forcon standing by. Linking with exfil team. Marines Force Recon here. Send traffic.
You know, it would honestly just be quicker if they walked.
Get in that building. Set up a base of fire.
Landing craft here. Let's head back to the carrier.
So is that a new MLRS position? It might be.
Ollie Burke at your command. All hands to station.
Lab here. We're engaged. Driver, move out. Full throttle. Anti-aircraft here. We're in combat. Back pedal, driver.
A second MLRS battery is targeting us. Get covered.
Troop transport in combat. All walking sandbags. Jump out.
Viper is combat ready.
And they are basically out of ammunition.
New flight plan received.
Lab at your command, sir. Moving there now. Heavy cavalry ready for action. Get that engine running. M1 Abrams here. We're in combat. Let's run them over. Armored transport engaged in combat. Punch it, full speed.
Enemy grants destroyed. So who's got the biggest stick now?
Our vehicle has been hit. Need repairs.
Ooh! Hello there. You need to die right now. I don't care. I want you dead.
All hands, battle stations.
Heavy armor in combat.
Another MLRS position destroyed. The entire battery should be gone now.
Huzzah!
Forcon here. Copy. We take that building.
Now, what do I need to do?
Marines at your command, sir. Check that building. Get your asses in that building.
Come on.
Force recon here. Home sweet home. Swift, silent, deadly. Anybody home?
What? Let me see. I need another one of these. And how many supplies does this carry? 15. Okay, so I'm gonna take one of these and I'm going to just
Landing craft awaiting instructions. Let's head back to the carrier.
go home. There's instructions.
Engines full ahead. Viper here. Viper. Maximum power. Lab ready. Heavy armor is ready to rumble.
So I want to basically push and capture that and then move on to that. Oh, this has been messy. Did they take it out? Not necessarily.
Viper awaiting mission. Flying to coordinates. Full power. LCAC standing by. Roger, unloading cargo. Heading back to the carrier. Tactical truck ready to haul. Let's bundle out. Abrams here. We're combat ready. Moving to shooting position. Lab here. We're combat ready.
Ah. Okay.
Raiders here. Regroup and move up. Move your asses, maggots. Double dogs here. We have a building to secure. Let's take that building. Marines! I want a base of fire in that building. Roger. Time for a walk. Rock up, we're moving. Breaker 1-9, who needs supplies?
Go over there, please.
Gonna pay no toll
I was thinking about launching a cruise missile strike there, but I'm not going to because I can't see things to hit.
Marines standing by. Look alive.
Okay, so apparently Williams' AI is not necessarily incompetent, which is good.
Need supplies? Here, beans, bullets, and band-aids.
All the essentials. Where are... Okay, yeah, no, that's where it is.
Air defense, standing by. Roger, we're on the move. Heavy transport here, send traffic. Heavy cav is on the field.
So get everything basically repaired
M1 Abrams ready for action. Armored, moving out.
and loaded. And then we can push on to that final point here. And then we can move to the VDV landing zone.
Armored transport, standing by. M1 Abrams, warmed up and ready to go. Heavy armor is on the field. Driver, move forward. Heavy cab, ready to roll. Armored is rolling out. Someone call for a cab? Roger, we're Oscar Mike. Heavy cavalry ready for action.
And then... No.
Heavy armor is ready to rumble. Solid copy, moving out. Troop transport reporting in. Driver, move out.
EMD4M.
Abrams, ready to roll.
Huh. Okay, so this is certainly an interesting mission. I think, however, it's safe to say that's about over.
Air defense ready for action. Already there. Good copy. Next waypoint received. Abrams here. We're combat ready. Heavy cav is on the field. Heavy cav ready to rumble. Moving as ordered.
What's going on over here? BTRZD. And, oh, they've got a lot of infantry, including Iglas. Joy. That's going to limit what I can do with helicopters. Oh, great. Attack helicopters.
The higher they fly, the further they fall. Anti-aircraft here. At your command. Abrams here. We're combat ready. Smoke screen deployed.
There we go.
Air defense here. Vehicle hit. Holy shit, that was close. Lab ready. Hit it. Raiders here. Set traffic. Lab here. We're combat ready. Bring us there in 10 seconds, not 10 fucking minutes.
Osprey is mission ready. Flying out.
M1 Abrams, warmed up and ready to go.
Now, let's see.
Moving out. Driving to coordinates. Hit the gas, driver. Hit it. Copy. Relocating.
And let's just push forward.
Vehicle status is red.
Although,
Ollie destroyer ready.
I'm not gonna have him for much longer, so
Focus fire on that position. Our vehicle took a hit. We need maintenance.
oh, they've got a cornet over there. Joy. That's going to be a problem. Although, that might not be a problem for much longer. I think I just dropped a cruise missile on it by accident.
One more hit and our tank is gone. Heavy cav is on the field. Smoke screen deployed. Heavy cav engaged in combat. Get us the fuck out of here!
Sir, the enemy landing zone has been secured.
No, it's not.
Objectives have been reached. Congratulations, Commander. I will recommend all the soldiers who fought at the fort for a medal. These men are heroes.
I love how the engagement feed's still coming in even though the cutscene's playing. Alright, well that was a bit of yeah, let's not talk about that. Although I still had nearly 3-to-1 KD ratio. Capture the fort in less than 10 minutes. Okay. Alright, what's next? Good grief.